to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you wanna be? I said, young man, you can make million dreams, but you got to know this one thing. No man does it all by himself. I said, young man, put your pride on the shelf and just go there to the YMCA. I'm sure they can help you today. YMCA, it's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all of the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Alright, okay. Enough of that. Enough of that nonsense. I haven't done this in a while, which is basically me sitting on my arse, talking shit until I get bored, which will probably be very quick. But I'll answer some questions, I'll do some stuff, and then I'll fuck off. And oh, hang on. Hi Sam, how you doing? Oh, that's James Moore. Everyone say hello to James Moore. He's a long time listener of this amazing, this incredible piece of shit. Right? So yeah. How's it all going? I only do these when I'm particularly sort of bored. You know. Usually when I've got like no one to talk to because I'm such a lonely bastard, you know. When all of my friends have abandoned me, when they all turn around and say, "Oh, Sam, I'd love," you know, and when they say,
Sam, I don't know what to tell you. I'd love to talk to you right now, but I'm so sorry, I can't.
you know, Dwayne. Or when they say, "No," you know, or in general. So I come to you guys, except you can't talk back. So, what the fuck's the point? What is the point? So go on then, questions. I'll answer a few, and then I'll get out your hair, right? And then, you know, I'll unlist this, and it'll be one of those obscure things that in like 30 years' time, people will come back to and say, "What the fuck was he playing at?" You know? And I'll be like, I don't know. But anyway. Okay, so let's get going. Fuck me. What's your favourite parody movie? Well, I'd probably have to say Airplane is a good one. The reason I like Airplane is because it was a send-up of disaster movies, and everyone in that film were actual stars of when did that come out? It was when Mel Brooks sort of came out as like, because now, sorry, Mel Brooks, Leslie Nielsen sort of came out as the big spoof star, because originally he was in all these really serious you know, he was in Forbidden Planet and he was in all these sorts of serious films, and he'd never done it before. And a lot of the actors in Airplane had never done any comedy before, and that's why they all played it so fucking straight, and that's what made it funny. So genuinely, Airplane probably is my favourite, because it's sort of like the spawning of that sort of, you know, it's obviously not the first. I think Young Frankenstein was among the first, but I think Airplane is probably my favourite spoof film, unless I can think of another one, because they're, you know, I don't like any of the movies. I think they're a bit too far. Access Point, fairly new to your channel. Oh jeez, thank you. How do you find inspiration for your work, or does it just hit you like lightning? I don't know. There's no one thing. You know, you just sort of like take what you can. If ever you see something you like, just write it down and expand upon it later. And always test things, and you know, and look for a bit of look for something to engage your mind in, and you'll always have a bit of something to sort of draw inspiration from. I guess, you know, the natural world is a good place to start. You think fiction's weird? Just look at the realm of the mini beasts, insects, and such. Great job on the new Yeshua animation. Do you have any plans for the next animation test? Do I? I know I need to do Fontaine, which will be to My Old Bamboo from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Hayden is another one on the list. Yeah, there's a few, and of course there's some new characters that I don't want to stop bringing in, because you know, I like to test things out, and sort of helps me for, you know, my book, shit like that. I'm not sure what other characters I would do after. I think Fontaine and Hayden are the immediate ones that I would probably go for. I suppose I'm debating on whether to do Locket. Celia is one. Very recently, I figured out how to get her the dreadlocks, and more recently still, I figured out how to actually get those dreadlocks to collide with her body. That's thanks to a newer version of Blender, which actually supports it a bit better. The only problem with Blender 2.8 and 9 is that it strikes me as very fragile compared to 2.7. I have a lot of issues with crashing with that, with my bigger models, and when I render it, there's always a good chance it'll just shit its pants. Whereas 2.7 doesn't seem to have that problem. Genuinely, I feel like 2.8 and 9 are they have more to offer, but it's spread very thin, or so it feels. I can use both, definitely, but I'm wary about doing things on 2.8 and 9, because once you save something as a 2.8 file and onwards, you can't load it as a 2.7. You can't even append it or link it back or pull things from it. It's stuck. So I'm cautious. That's why I generally stick to 2.7 and only use 2.8 and 9 for specific things, because I'm scared that if I save it, and I find, oh shit, this file's too big, it can't handle it, you know, I'm fucked, you know. So I've got to be very careful. Maybe I'll just have to upgrade my PC. This one's pretty fucking powerful. It's an Apex 2 from Box Technologies. It's a pretty, you know, solid unit. But the Apex 4 is out now, so I might invest there. But so yeah, a Celia animation test might be coming, but it would all rather depend on if I can get a stable file in 2.8, which it seems to be with her. It's not Celia's not. It's mostly the characters with all the hair and stuff and the fur. And I know Celia has the hair, but it's actually not as complex as all that. Dreadlocks are actually quite low in memory. But something like Lucy or Shock, or Dalton or Yeshua, all that fucking fur is just mental. And if you press the render button and you've got too much shit activated, you know, it's not very good. You've got a choice then to ride it out and wait for your computer to respond, which can be hours, or restart your computer. That's why I use Render Street for my renders. Even if it's like a little test render, I always offload it to Render Street. The only time I render on the computer is for small things like I just need the face so I can take off the rest of the body and just sort of like look at the face, and that's what I use it for because it can handle that. Everything else I offload to Render Street, and even then sometimes it's like, you know, the render times can be mental. That's what I pay the bill for to get that stuff done. Odessa again. Also, can we talk to you through the super chat like EA paying for the good stuff? Also, oh man, I think that's cut off a bit at the top. Fuck me. This streaming thing's not apt, is it? How's that book coming along? And a spoof film to watch, Meet the Spartans. Oh, Meet the Spartans. I've never seen it, you know. I've heard it's quite funny, I guess. I've also heard it's quite shit, but I suppose I'll make my mind up. The book's coming along great. I was just doing some work on it now. That's the main thing that I'm for me, the best content on this channel isn't the animations, it's the book stuff. I really like that because my animations can have problems, as we all know. I'm one person, and you know, mistakes slip through. But with the book stuff, it's just, you know, language, and I like that, and I like the fact that it's just, you know, my writing and a few cool little images. So if I was to say, you know, the personally the stuff I'm most proud of, it's the stuff I've written in the book. I would say that Satellite City walked so this book can run. Without Satellite City, these characters would not have developed in the way that they have, and the animation has been a huge part of that. You know, but I'm very excited to finish this book, and I'm very, very proud of it as well. It's still in draft 1, and well, sort of draft 1. I'm going through draft 2 for a few bits now, but you know, I'm happy with it. What's next? Soulless Rabbit, thank you for $10. I'll put that towards the rendering. Which big this is Wise Light 7. Which big character is the hardest to animate in a video? Well, large characters are always the hardest because the hardest thing to animate is power and weight. So Helgen, Hayden, I would have said Yeshua, but Yeshua I gave a new rig to, and he gets away with it sort of because he's not a big lumbering brute. Even though he's quite large, he's quite, you know, fucking, he's got a lot of liquidity to him. You know, he's a bit of an entertainer, a dancer, so I can get away with some more fluid movements. But I suppose the larger the character, the heavier the character, the harder they are to animate, is what I would say based on experience. Josh Ari, okay, I can't pronounce that second name. Teshim A. When will you get your book published, or will people be able to buy it around the world? I do aim to get it published. Publishing can take a while. I aim to get it finished this year. I aim to get it finished in August, actually, when I started it last year. But it ended up being a much bigger project, which I'm thankful for, because you know, as I wrote it, I thought, okay, I can add this and add this into this. It will likely be finished by October. As I am sort of approaching the end now. I'm approaching the third act. I am aiming to get it published. I have had a few people read it, and not all of them, you know, are, you know, just friends. Some people in that arena have read it and have told me very good things, and there is a good chance that I will be able to get it published. And if that's the case, then it will be you know, everyone will be able to buy it. But I don't know how that's going to work because I've never published a book before, and it can be a process, and obviously you have to fight with editors to make sure you keep things the way you want it to be. But we'll see. You know, sci-fi has always been, you know, an area that I find myself very interested in. So it would be nice to sort of get it sorted in that. I'm gonna go to this other thing so I can see any ones I've missed. I can't read that other one. What are your plans after the August View is published? Unusual Holly there. And my plan is to write the second book, which will be called Falling Through Mandelbrot. I plan to do a series. I've got quite a few things that I'd like to do with it. I'd like each book to be focused on, you know, a few different topics. The first one being sort of about economy and different political ideologies clashing, and then really illustrating the nuance of the political spectrum and how things are complicated and difficult, and that they're not easy. Illustrated through a very, very alien lens. You know, it's sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi political drama. You know, I do enjoy the topic genuinely. So we'll see how it goes, but I aim to write a few. So we'll see how the first one goes, and then I'll crack on with the next. It might sound like a weird question, sorry in advance, but what do you think of people cosplaying your characters? Each to their own. I mean, I'm not really in that field. I've never really been to I went to a Comic-Con once with my friend when I was like 15. He was dressed as Spider-Man, I was dressed as the Joker. He tripped over on a cinder block trying to high-five a kid. I got shouted at by an old man. It was embarrassing, and I haven't been back since. So that's not really my scene, you know. I'm aware that I've got a lot of people, you know, into that sort of thing in my audience. You know, the whole cosplay, dress up stuff. It's not my field of expertise, but I have nothing against it, and I think it's very flattering, you know. And it's a form of art, so you know, it's fine with me. It's just the conventions in general. I don't think I will ever go to a convention unless it's like, oh, you know, someone says, oh, would you know, someone invited me and said, oh, would you come? That would be okay, I guess, because at least then it's arranged. I don't think I would ever just show up, you know, and be like, yo, you want to get your picture taken with me? I'll be here. I don't think that's not my sort of. I'd rather have a cup of tea at home with, you know, warm my ass by the fire. I don't know what I would do on a panel besides this, which would just result in everyone getting extremely bored, including myself. And it wouldn't be long before I start shooting people with paintball guns or doing something, you know, fucking that would end up burning the entire convention down. But, you know, I don't know. It's just one of my friends is saying, "Oh, one day I am gonna drag you to a convention. You're gonna love it." And it's like, "Oh, we'll see." Okay, right, okay. One artist to another, I really struggle with approving of my work and keeping motivated to improve and evolve. How do you keep motivated? Keep motivated. Always look to, like, stay grounded. Remember the past, stay grounded in the present, but look to the future, and just sort of like, it's like a fucking, you know, juggling act of, you know, keeping everything like in the periphery. You've always got to be working towards something, and improvements not always. Oh god, here's my fucking, yeah, Amy. For those curious, it's Beauty of the Base who's the one who's trying to get me to go to a convention. Maybe one day. Maybe someday. Anyway, what was I saying? You've always got to look for something to sort of improve upon, and improvement is never fun. When, you know, in the moment that you realise there's something to be fixed, No one likes being told that something's wrong with their work, but almost always there's something that could be better. And the instant urge is to knee-jerk and say, no, I don't want to change it. But once you do change it and you fix it, and then you look back on that and think, oh yeah. I think the thing that really gets me going is imagining people engaging with it. So when I'm animating, I'm thinking people are going to love watching this, you know. Just sometimes I like to watch things back and just imagine like the reactions of people, like, oh, this will be good. Fucking, and for the book as well, you know, same thing. Oh gee, a creepy kitty. Thank you very much. I will put that towards the rendering of the next Satellite City episode, which I plan to be a long one. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Right, what was I doing? Okay. There's Amy for cheap paint. Thank you, Amy. I'll be using that. When will the pins be restocked? They're beautiful. Soon, but first I'm gonna do a little sketchbook. So it'll be like a little artist sketchbook with like with a Lucy Lacemaker render on. People want to see Lucy. What do you mean? She's out killing people, don't you know that? You know, Halloween's coming up. We've got to we're gonna have loads of people around. We gotta fucking make pumpkin stew, you know. And that mincemeat, it ain't coming from no animals. It's coming from animals. The human animal, you know. She's out in the village right now, collecting them. She's busy, guys. Come on. God damn it. You know, she's around. Do you have any new characters you're excited about? Absolutely. The next episodes of Satellite City will bring back Yeshua. We'll introduce Bamforth Whitaker, Wiley, Basil, Teaser, Thalius. It'll bring back Luna, Mystique, Titania. You know, it's sort of like a for Call the Banners sort of episode where I just want to bring everyone in. Because Satellite City for me is just fun, and I want as many characters to play with as I can for the different episodes. You know, I quite like the idea of just saying, okay, who should we make an episode about this time? Yeah, sure, let's go with him. Let's go with Luna or Ludwig or fucking, you know, Mystique or Thalius. Let's have them all in, you know. Basil and Teaser fucking pulling a heist, you know. Yeah. So it's just sort of like getting everyone in. Getting Skype messages here. Question from Angela: what's your favorite horror movie, and why is the Leprechaun in Space? God. Well, as much as I love Warwick Davis, the Leprechaun in Space is down there. But up there is certainly The Others. I'd probably say The Others is my favorite horror movie. I also like 1408, Event Horizon. You know, I suppose this might count as a kind of spoof. Cabin in the Woods is really good for its self-referential humor. Coco Draws: I wish I had more money to throw at you. You don't, honestly. Try. You can keep it minimal. All this just goes straight for the rendering bills. The reason I'm able to actually animating it's one thing, rendering it's another, and that can be very expensive. So that's what all this goes towards. So thank you. Please keep it up. I will. I will do my best. I'll do my absolute best. Logan Wise, happy birthday in 5 days. Have a good one. Try not to die. That would be unfortunate. You know? That would be very unfortunate. How many years did you spend practicing animation? I think I'm on year 6 now. I think I've been at it for 6 years. I started when I was 16. And I'm almost 23. I'll be 23 this month. So, God. 22's been a good age for me, you know? I've enjoyed 22. But I'll be 23 soon, so that makes 6 years of animation. And I was unproductive. Well, I wasn't unproductive, but I was pretty much useless at animation for the first 4. Oh, I wasn't very good. I think, I think my animation started to get good in 2019 with I'd say good middling with the new round of animation tests that I did with Lucy and the Return, Winifred Control, Shock, and all that new wave of animation tests. I think that's when my animation took a bit of a leap, because at first it was like shit. Just shit. And then it took a leap to like okay to good. And I think and it sort of stuck there, and I think the Yeshua animation test I just did is, you know, was okay. Al Card, if I were to ask about a commission, would you do it for $2,000? No, I'd do it for $200. My stuff isn't worth that much, believe me. If you wanna give me a nice fucking tip, you can. But currently, it depends what you'd want. I mean, if we're talking animation, maybe. If you're talking about like a few images of a character model. Yeah. I earn most of my money off merchandise that I produce and stuff. The commissions, which I do tend to do now and again, I wouldn't want to charge anything extortionate for that. People have got better things to spend their money on. New Whitaker animation test, when? He instantly became one of my favourites when I saw Dead Man Walking. Well, soon if you want. You know. If some rich bastard could buy a canvas with a dot on it for millions of dollars, your art is worth $2,000. Yeah, well, I'd like to lead by example. I don't think it is worth $2,000. I think it's worth the amount of effort the amount of time it takes. And for me, it's not. It depends on how much trouble it puts me through, and it doesn't put me through much trouble. You know, I'll charge a few hundred, maybe. You know, if it's like, if I'm doing a character model, you know, of someone who's commissioned me, and I'm doing a few different images of that. If it's an animation, maybe, as I said, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen Lovecraft Country. I haven't read anything by Lovecraft either, although I am aware of him, and I do like what I've heard. I'm more of an H.G. Wells guy and a George Orwell guy. Those are more my style. I haven't actually read anything by Lovecraft, but I've heard good things, and I do enjoy Bloodborne, which is a very Lovecraftian inspired, apparently. But in terms of actual authors, George Orwell and H.G. Wells for me are the best I've read. People can pay $200 to $700 for those, just for the model. Well, maybe. It depends if like I said, I don't want to be extortionate. I don't want to be greedy. You know. God. If I could, I'd cap the super chats at like 20 quid. But they should put that feature in. I feel that Lockett has a lot of unknown stories. So my question is Locket redeemable? No spoilers though. Well, in the book, I mean, she's a pretty interesting character. She's one of the main characters. She's not not like how she appears in the show. She's very different. But yeah, I think she's in it. It would depend on what on the reader, Redeemable by human standards? Probably not. If the Kivawakians existed as humans, they would be highly condemned. That's the interesting thing I like about them, because it's basically like, how we have like the laws of nature. What if they were actual legislative laws? What would that look like? And that's sort of the idea behind the Kivawak. What if there was a place ruled by actual, a natural code? What would that be like? So by human standards, that would be pretty like, oh shit. Chocolary Pop, salutations friend, I've been a fan of your series for quite some time. Here's my question for you. All the characters you've created so far, who was your top favourite you've modelled? Who was the most difficult to render? Probably, I really like the Lucy model. The Celia model. You haven't seen it, but the Locket model, and I mean the actual non-fucked up Locket model, is really good. I like that a lot. Sombra, his model. Winifred, the golden Winifred, I really like. There's a few. Yeshua. Right. Ugh. Oh, creepy kitty again. Jesus Christ. You really don't need to, honestly. Deputy coroners. Hold on. Well, for an animation, I might be tempted. But I don't know how long. I might turn off the super chat feature for the next stream. Try to keep it around 20. I really do appreciate the the thought, and it will go towards the rendering. But yeah, there's like a little super chat option thing. You don't need to go any higher than like 5, 10 or 20. That's the maximum, I would say. It's just a sort of way for me to like sort of highlight comments, but ugh, I need a cup of tea. What's your favorite animation so far? I'd probably say the Yeshua animation recently is probably my favorite animation so far. As far as movement goes, I do like Gonpapa, although there's some issues with that. But yeah, I'd probably say the most recent one is my favorite in terms of motion and directing. I quite like that one. How did Freda come into existence? How did she grow so big, and why is Locket so tiny if they're related? That question is answered in the book, and I wouldn't want to spoil that. The Kivawakians can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. It's like we share you know, fucking 70% of our genetic makeup with a slug. I think we share like not that much less with a banana, you know. You'd be surprised. So, yes, there is a book. It's called The August View. It's a sci-fi political drama based on the shit that I've done on YouTube that I've actually developed, you know. Is it 50% with bananas? Alright, okay. I love that fact. Now that's a fact. That is, that, you know, if you want trivia, that's fucking trivia, you know? Good golly. The book hasn't been finished yet, but it will be. Right. How long have I been doing this shit for? God, only 36 minutes. I thought I'd killed a lot more time than that. Fucking hell. Damn. Jesus. Well, I aim to finish the book in October, and then I aim to get it published. I have no idea how long that process will be. Hopefully it won't be too long, but once I finish the first, I will be writing the second, so we'll see. I want to try and... Are you that bored? Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. Nah. Right now I'm on page 270, 168,000 words. So it's going. It's definitely going. It's happening. So yeah. Ugh. And all this shit. This is all stuff that I've gone through already, you know, like in terms of like second draft. So, you know, it's keeping me busy on top of the animation and running the merchandise and obviously, you know, all sorts of stuff going on. Life, and obviously I've got to work in my time to play games, you know, and watch films and, you know, just doss around. That's always something that shocks people when they hear how much I slack off. You know, people are saying, "Oh God, take it easy." I sleep a lot, you know, and I play games a lot, and I don't know. I think it's important to just sort of like, you know, get your work done when you're feeling it. Whenever you try and hold yourself to like a big fucking schedule, like I have to get this done by this amount of time, it never works out, you know, because you know, you might not be in the mood at that point. Just do it when you want. Dreams are a good source for inspiration, so long as you can sort of unfuck them later, because most of the time they're just completely, it's just a barrage of visual information. So if you can untangle them and actually sort of plot a story around, then yeah, you know. Although not many of my ideas have come from dreams. They've more so come from sort of conscious consideration. Although a few have, so you know, they are a good thing. Luna K. I know we saw a bit in Memory with Winifred. Will we see any more of their world in the future? Well, yeah, I might do a bit more. It's difficult to depict the Kivawak because it is so odd. It's easier to describe it, I suppose, because then you're not bound by visual limits. or my skill as an animator. But yeah, I don't mind throwing you all back there. Fuck. Yeah. Will it be an audiobook using the voices of the guy who does the preview videos, or will you be splitting the book into a video playlist using him? If it was ever to be like an actual professional audiobook, I'd probably want to get someone with a voice like Charles Dance to do it. That sort of very because it is sort of it's written in a very sort of English way. You know, the language. Dwayne's fantastic. But I would want someone like Charles Dance-ish, or you know, to that sort of clipped, clear, sort of matured voice to do the actual audiobook, if ever it came to that. But yeah. Right. Well. I'm gonna put it in. Okay, satisfying game master. I respect your thought there. So what price will the book be when they come out? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how much books go for generally. Seems to vary. I do know that I want it hardback first. I don't want to release softback first. I'll do those later. But I do know that I want it to be high quality hardback release initially, so people can get those straight off the bat and then go to softback later. As for the size, again, that's another fucking. I have no idea. You know, not too big. You know, don't want to be like a. Something like that. This is sort of like the size it will probably end up being. Maybe not this thick, but in terms of like this, it will probably be around this big. This is a very strange book. Like if ever you've wanted to read, you know, like in cartoons, it's David Eddings. If ever you've ever wanted to actually read a book that is the sort of like inspiration for all those things that are sort of taking the piss out of in like South Park, you know, where they're like, you know, in the great goblin Shelock, you know, and he smote him with his sword, you know, stuff like this is the book, this is it, you know. Where's the guy's name? You know, it's like Ulthar. Where is it? Actually, I'll read the thing. This is like a book that you would get in South Park, or SpongeBob or something. But it's great work, you know. It's very, because it's quite old, you see. But just listen to this. It's what's the book called? I have no idea how to pronounce it. Elenium, the Elenium. Elenium, the fantasy masterwork. This compelling story of conflict between good and evil introduces the great Palladian knight Sir Sparhawk, invincible warrior and master strategist, steadfast champion of Queen Alea. To save the life of his lovely young queen, Sparhawk and his companions journey to the most dangerous regions of Iota in a quest for the sacred jewel of the troll gods, the Sapphire Rose. With the help of his ageless magician, so you know what I mean? That is dead ass. The blurb. So you know what I mean? You know when I say it's like, it's the book that you would see in South Park where they're like, you know, fucking, I'm now going to use Call of the Mongoose. You know, that sort of World of Warcraft style stuff. It's like that. very entertaining. But yeah. Scroll through this. I might wrap this stream up now. Yeah, I think that's it for the stream. Suppose I'll just fucking, you know, wrap it up there. 46 minutes, I'll take that. Access point, thank you very much. So, yeah, okay, right. Done. Sorted. Right. Nice. I did it. I actually fucking did it. I did the stream. I beat it. I did the stream. Whoa. I beat it. Whoa. Wait, what's going on? Whoa. No, you're interrupting me now. Stop. Stop. No, you're interrupting me now. No, you're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. I don't understand why you think you can. I'm not interrupting you. You're interrupting me. No, listen to me, you little fucking cunt. You look like fucking Tommy Wiseau, you stupid fucking bastard. Right? You I look nothing like Tommy Wiseau, right? In fact, I think if he cleaned up a bit, he'd be quite a handsome gentleman. You're the one that said that to me, right? You dirty bastard. You filthy little shit. I didn't say it. You said it. How can you smell me? I'm on a stream. How can you smell me? Well, can you have they invented smell fucking outputs? I don't know. I don't know. They've got fucking microphones. Maybe they've invented something for you to smell me. I don't know. Now you're not making any sense. Now you're not making any sense, you stupid little shit. God, why the fuck were you ever born? God, you are you filth. The sacrifices I've made for us. You know? The sacrifices. I'm filth. They were my sacrifices. I didn't want to run over that family. Right? It all started because you wanted that fucking pumpkin. And I... Oh God. Listen to you. You little bitch. We fucking... I can't. I just fucking... I don't understand. This is live right now. People are listening to you embarrass yourself. Me. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna hang up right now. I'm hanging up. No, I'm hanging up. I said it first. Alright, you're gonna hang up. I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up. Yes. Yeah. No, I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up. You bitch. I'm hanging up. No! I'm hanging up. Fucking watch me. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You're not doing it. I'm doing it. Fuckity bye. Fuckity bye. Yeah, fuck you. Go away. Yeah, bye. Fuck you. Bye. Bastard. What a little shitbag. What a little cunt. Who does he think he is calling me on my stream? God, what's the point? I hate that bastard, you know. I told him no. I fucking won that one. Right, that's it.